morning, guys. So break-in period is finally over. Yesterday I had the chance to drive the car at 100% to check out how the car feels. And I can tell you it feels already amazing in stock. So we're going to measure the stock performance on our dyno today. And of course we are going to develop our power enhancement for it and check out how much power we can get out of this engine. And of course we are going to measure 100 to 200 kilometers per hour times in stock and tuned. So let's check out what the car got in stock.
Okay, so stock dyno run is complete. The car slightly overperformed. We got 422 horsepower and 548 Newton meters of torque, but it's pretty much in a range of 5%, so basically on the point. And yeah, let's have a look at the chart.
So we're pretty much perfect conditions for our dyno runs actually, for the stock measurements. As you can see here, we basically had no correction factors. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, and what you can see at the dyno chart is that it is actually a little bit restricted at 5000 RPM, around that area. So there should be a lot of potential to get more performance out of that engine.
Yeah, you can really see how Newton meters and horsepower drops like at 5500, so there should be a good margin for us to do.
Yeah, you can see that at the boost curve pretty good, as the boost is peaking at around 5200 RPM. And after that it drops down. Yeah, it looks like it is a software restriction, but I'm pretty sure we can get some really good numbers out of that engine. So after several development sessions, we finished the final product for our M2 competition. I drove the car already for a few weeks on the street. With that setup, it feels absolutely amazing. For the installation, we are connecting to 3 different sensors: intake pressure, turbo boost and camshaft. Installation is still pretty easy. You need like 10 to 15 minutes max. So I would say let's check out what the car will put on the dyno. So we finished the final dyno runs of our BMW M2 competition and managed to get 502 horsepower and 632 Newton meters of torque. And keep in mind, this is the Euro version and OPFs are still installed. I'm pretty sure we can get a little bit more out of the engine without the OPF, so for the US version.
Probably, yeah.
But it's still kind of impressive for this engine with the OPFs installed. The target behind the development was basically to keep the boost up to the red line, because you saw that on the stock dyno it's kind of restricted above 5000 RPM. So we changed that, so basically the car is pushing like crazy until red line.
Yeah, which you can really see on the graph also, that above 5000 RPM there's just happening a lot more than before.
Yeah, and basically what was engine power before is now wheel power, which helps also.
Yeah, which is great, of course. Yeah, so you drove the car for a few days already, but still, let's get the thing on the road and do a stock GTS Black comparison and see how it behaves. Okay guys, so as you can see, we're sitting in the M2 competition and we're on the road. I set the car back to stock settings, and Dani, you drove the car for a few days already with tuning and without. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the car in stock, how it behaves, where it performs quite good and where it's maybe missing a little bit.
So the car feels great overall, but there is one thing I dislike a little bit. Basically the power drops off after 5000 RPM, and that is basically what we saw on the dyno as well, that it's kind of restricted above 5000 RPM, and that was also the main target in the development process, to get rid of that, so the car keeps pushing until red line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I totally agree. It's always, if you have a powerful car but it still feels restricted, like it could do more if it were allowed to, you tend to be a little bit unhappy because you just notice the engine is not unleashing its full potential.
Yeah, and the S55 is a high rev engine, so there should be a way to rev it, right? Because you can rev it like until 7.5 RPM.
Yeah, so well, I would say let's set the GTS Black to max setting right away and see how it performs with GTS Black.
Achso?
Ja.
Wie er sich festhält. Ja. We designed the tune like it starts at around 2,800 RPM, around that area, where you basically need the power, and keeps until redline. That is how we design it, and basically you can feel that. I mean, you drove the car as well, right?
Yeah.
So you can feel the car needs or wants to have the high rev. So
Absolutely.
it's like,
because as you said, it's a high performance sports engine, and you want to rev it. And in stock, I mean, you were able to rev it, no question, but still, it didn't perform as it should. Above 5,000. And now it does.
yeah. So I think we did a great job during the development process to make it a high rev engine like it should be.
And also, I'm pretty interested how this will affect the acceleration times.
Yeah.
Especially, as always, 100 to 200 kilometers per hour, because especially in this range there should be quite a big effect. We'll give you guys an update, and now I think we're driving back to our headquarters, because elsewhere I have to puke because I'm not a good co-driver. And Dan is quite of enjoying his car.
So we are on the way to the Autobahn now to measure 100 to 200 km per hour times. The conditions are not optimal currently. It's raining a little bit, and we have around like 5.5 degrees. And of course we are on winter tires and winter rims. But still it should give a rough estimate time how much faster we are with the RaceChip GTS Black install. So we finished our measurements under not the best conditions, I would say, but still we managed to get the times. So in stock we had 10.8 seconds, and with the RaceChip GTS Black we had 9.4 seconds, which is an improvement by 1.4 seconds, which is kind of good, I would say. And keep in mind the car is stock besides the RaceChip GTS Black, and we are running winter tires and winter rims, of course. So I expect some slight improvements with summer tires and summer rims, of course. Maybe we'll do some more modifications to the car, like downpipes and stuff like that. So leave us a like and hit the subscribe button.